Good evening, good evening.
Hey, hey, hey.
Um,
How's your Thursday going?
it's going. It's going. Finally able to keep food down.
Yeah, no, it's been rough.
Yeah, it's been a
Glad to
fun.
hear you might be getting a little better though. That's good news.
Yeah,
Definitely good news.
it's leaving me and Haley's feeling it now.
Oh gosh. That's the worst thing about getting sick is it makes its way through the whole family.
It does. Moral of the story, don't have kids. No, I'm just kidding.
They bring home everything for sure. Oh, we've still got some people hopping in. How's your week going otherwise?
Not bad. Otherwise, like I said, I'm just excited that I can finally, as of yesterday, I was finally able to keep some food down. So back to normal conversations per usual.
Yeah,
It's the
we
energy
have a lot of
level.
those on a weekly basis, don't we?
Oh yeah.
It's good stuff, though. This has been a really productive week. Got, of course, this time of year is tax time, so there's always all the duties that go along with that, especially when you own several LLCs and you've got all the different things to do. So a lot of time's been spent on that. Getting close to the deadline. I don't know about any of you other guys, but it's a beast. It's a beast. It's nice to relax.
That is for sure.
Yeah. It's a great time. I mean, I don't know if anybody else um, like preps their own taxes, but it's a great opportunity to look at each individual asset, review the P&L, really drill down where improvements can be made, where you're doing really great. So, you know, it's a tough time, but it's a great time as well to kind of hone in on some of those areas, and we will get through it. We will definitely get through it.
Veronica says hello from Colorado.
Hello. How's the weather there right now? I'm telling you, weather is crazy all over the US right now.
Hmm.
We had a tornado warning yesterday.
I just found out we're apparently supposed to get more snow, I think tomorrow.
Yeah. This area is crazy. Like we could have snow and then 2 days later it'd be 60 degrees and you've got a tornado warning. And then 2 days later it's 30 and raining again. It's it's so crazy. But I
Sounds
guess you
about
get to
right.
experience a little bit of all of it, so it's not so bad. Christian, where do you normally source furnitures for your properties? Um, we do it several different ways, Christian. It really depends on the area that we're in. We have a lot of contractors who source it on our behalf because they already have a lot of great accounts set up with discounts. And they will include it in their contractor price for the furniture to actually purchase it and set it up. And then other places, depending again on what area it's in, we will go to Sam's or Costco. There are a lot of items that are very standard for us, even if, say, we have a contractor that is purchasing and setting up, we still get from Amazon at the best price. We also have a business account, so we get some things discounted. And we'll go ahead and order those and just send them to the property when the contractor's ready to put them together. So it depends, is the answer to that. It depends on where the location it is and who the contractors are. And I'm going to be honest, it's really, in our experience, the cheapest route to go is usually the contractors. They already have great accounts set up in different places and will not only purchase it, get it there, they'll also set it up. So
Hmm.
it works out. Let's see, Veronica says it's crazy. It's in the 60s, 70s and cloudy. Usually it is cold with blizzards. So I said it. Mother Nature this year is really, I don't know what she's doing, but it is totally crazy. I don't know where everybody else is from, but I know around here it's very different day to day here lately. So yeah. So guys, welcome. I know I see a lot of familiar faces, but also want to thank those who are new. Welcome you. We love to have you guys here on Thursday night. Just to let you know, this is basically an open Q&A session for the community. We do free. We started this a long time ago because we wish we would have had somebody to just hop on and ask questions when we were stuck in our business. So it's just something we like to bring value to the community to do. It is not, this is not like a teaching-led Zoom. This is truly a community Q&A where you guys are expected to bring your questions and we all kind of network and learn and provide solutions together. So thank you. We do welcome you and hopefully you get some value from the Zoom tonight. With that said, I'd like to go ahead and open it up. Anybody that's got questions, if it's your first time here, we would love for you just to come off of mute. Let us know who you are, where your market is, and what you hope to gain out of the Zoom this week. That would be fantastic. Hi, Susie from Toronto. Great to
Toronto.
meet you. Oh, hi, Chris.
Good morning. No,
Way to find out Chris is in the Zoom.
There he is.
I am here.
Oh,
Well,
are
I'm
you
from
stuck in
Florida, so
traffic?
man, this is ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous. I'm used to it
Are
now.
you
Let's
still
just
in
say that.
traffic?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Welcome to
okay.
Florida.
It's
Yeah.
okay. It is okay. Let's just say when the time is right, I'll definitely have a chauffeur.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. That's why those high paying guys, you know, manage their time well is because they get to still do their work while their driver's driving them around. It's
yeah,
fantastic.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of new faces. Guys, we would really love for you to just come off mute and introduce yourself. Let us know what
Go
you're
ahead
doing
and
in the
raise your
co-living
hand.
space. If you
Yeah,
want, just raise your,
they got to raise their hand. They can't come
Yeah.
off me.
yeah, as I said, I just raise your hand and we'll we'll take you off mute. Hi, Pansy.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi,
Good
Susie.
yourself?
Good, good.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Sorry, let me just get the voice. Hi, everyone. Hi, my name is Susie. I'm from Toronto, and this is my first time joining the meeting. Yeah.
Well, we are super
Uh,
glad to have you.
Thank you. I have a quick question. Is that okay to ask?
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
what this is for.
Awesome. So, for the co-living exit strategy, how long you're gonna hold for, and how to get out of it, especially when we do, renovation and did everything. Are we gonna to convert back to like 3-2 or convert to original setup?
Well, Susie, you asked about 10 questions in that one question.
Okay.
So let's take a minute to dissect this, okay?
Okay, yeah. How long we gonna hold for, and what is exit strategy?
Okay, so if you choose co-living as your exit strategy, that is going to depend on a couple of things. So let's talk about the acquisition itself. Okay, so some people in this space prefer to purchase homes that need a full gut or moderate rehab. They like to go in, redesign the whole home, and proceed that way. So in a case like that, where you're going into either a full gut or a pretty moderate rehab, your holding time, of course, is going to be like a flip. So it could definitely go out 6 months or more. Now, our strategy, particularly, is we already buy turnkey houses. So these are houses that have already been rehabbed. They're in great shape. All the systems are, less than 5 years old, or new, preferably. And all we're going to go in and do is possibly add walls, either split bedrooms, close in a dining room, or a living room, depending on the type of exit we're going to use. And then holding for those are really far more minimal. So usually in a situation where you're going into a turnkey and you're only going in to add some walls because everything else is already renovated, you're really looking at a go live of within 90 days. So I want to start with that. Holding time will depend on the type of rehab that you're doing and the acquisition that you're buying.
Mhm.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Right.
Perfect. All right. So I think the next question was, well, we kind of talked about the holding. What was the next part of that question?
One is the timeline holding, how long we hold it for. I mean, the whole project, and second is exit strategy. Yeah, how
Okay.
we. Mhm.
So we'll just use the second instance because it's obviously what we're most familiar with because we go in and buy turnkey. So the go for us when we're just going in to add a few walls, maybe do a few other updates, get all the doors in, the locks in, everything. The go live is generally 60 to 90 days just for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay. In
Mhm.
addition to that, you've got to consider as part of your holding really 3 months out from that because you're not going to open the doors and then you're in 100% occupancy at the end of 30 days. That doesn't happen. That's happened at one of our assets, but that normally doesn't happen. Okay. So you really want to extend that out. So if you're in this situation, if you're already holding for a 90-day period to go live, then you actually want to consider holding costs for another 90 days until you can at least achieve 80% occupancy. Okay. And then at that point, it should be self sustaining because your underwriting should have already written for that vacancy amount. Does that make sense? Uh-oh.
Awesome. So what I mean, the exit strategy is, are we gonna to do the refinance or to sell it? At that time, are we gonna to reverse all the, like if we hold like 5 rooms and we add the wall after we purchase it? So are we gonna to reverse that back, like knock the wall down and then sell on the market, or we sell to another co-living buyers?
Mhm.
So that really
Okay.
depends on the specific exit strategy before you purchase the asset itself. When you're doing your underwriting, all that should be taken in consideration, even before even closing on the asset itself. Now, depending on if, as Angel mentioned, if you're taking over an asset that has minimum work in regards to something that just recently been remodeled, then yes, a potential cash out refi would actually happen uh, as a first exit. Now, do you want to convert the rooms back over? No, you don't have to do that. Due to the fact of now, when Passbook just first was brought up, they didn't have lenders who can do it as far as a cash out refi. Now there's so many lenders out there that would literally do a refi on the property as as a co-living asset. So you don't have to knock the walls back down, put more money into it. It's not necessary. Now, could you sell it to another investor who's maybe, excuse me, maybe just going into like the passive space and just want to get their feet wet? Absolutely. You can definitely go down that route as well. And also there's actually co-living, just like there's for sale by owner groups, there's also co-living groups who literally just owners or investors looking to buy those kind of assets that's already performing. Whether it's cash or doing something creative, 100% you have different options. Now, again, going back to Roxy, sit down. I'm sorry, guys. um, the dog got a little excited there. But when looking at your underwriting piece of it, you definitely want to underwrite it as a cash value and also on the creative side of things before you actually close on the asset, because we made the mistake in the beginning actually buying everything creatively, where some of the assets we bought, we should have bought it cash, traditional. We should have got a loan product, bought a traditional, we probably would have saved a lot more money. However, we was in that creative mindset where everything had to be creative, and we don't regret anything. We glad we did it the way we did it. At the same time, we didn't really analyze it the best we could when we first jumped into it. But now, if you give us a deal, I promise you, we're gonna have about 5 or 6 different exit strategies before we even close on the on the asset itself. I hope that answered your question. Perfect.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's a great question, Susie. Perfect. Sorry, I'm trying to flip through to see if you have any other hands raised or any comments, and then no worries. And I do want to just add to what Chris had said about the refinance piece of it. Again, like you said, we had purchased 95% of what we had creatively, and if you're going into it that way, of course, a refinance is not what you want to do, because if you purchase something creatively, assumably you've purchased it because you've got an interest rate that beats any investment loan. So those you would want to bring in private money, or whether it's a lender or a partner, to float for the renovation, holding costs, so on and so forth. So that's what that would look like. Great. All right, guys. Who else in here? I see a couple of other new faces. Love for you to raise your hand and let us know who you are, where you're at, and what you're doing. How we can be of value to you. Oh, we've got a quiet group tonight. That's okay. No worries. We're all here to listen, learn. Oh, Pansy, I do see your hand went up. Get her off of mute.
Hey,
Hey,
I don't really
hey.
have a question, but I wanted to show you something. Hold on. Let's see if it'll work. I got to turn the blur off. Let me turn that off. None. Can you see it?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes.
I love that.
Love that.
We wore it yesterday for the California creative tour. So, and we got you on our link
Nice.
tree.
Oh, I love it, Pansy. Thank you.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Angel, I know we
It'll
were
be,
texting. We got stuff to talk about later, so there's
yeah,
lots of things happening. It's exciting.
absolutely.
So
And
I
guys,
just
it
wanted to
just
show you.
yeah, thank you. We appreciate that. Love those props. And it just kind of goes back to, guys, if you figure out what you want to do, you get your blinders on and you say, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to do co-living. Then you need to be here. You need to be in those spaces where people are actually doing what you're doing. Um, that sometimes, cat, sorry, sometimes things are much better taught than caught, or caught than taught. And you've just got to get in there. You've got to learn. How are people acquisitioning? What are their exit strategies? How are they underwriting? You have to get in there and find out how people are successfully doing this. And that's what this is all about this Thursday night. You should never show up here without a question, especially if you've not made your first acquisition yet. You should probably have 10 questions for us every time you show up. Find out what we're doing. Ask about the underwriting. Ask about the market research. That's what we're here for. We're super excited to share it with you guys every week. We look forward to this. Like I said before, this is our opportunity to basically hop on here with our peers, network, learn, and just talk shop. That's what this is all about. But Pansy,
I'll be asking a lot of questions here soon because I'll be turning my house into a co-living soon.
yes,
Like I have a lot of ideas for it. It's going to be a co-living slash um a business, right? Like I'm
mm-hmm,
going to build it because it's got to be redone. Like the house is a
right,
wreck, right? So I'm going to redo the kitchen so my daughter could bake and sell her baked goods. I'm going to get it certified and everything. And I think I already, well, Jen is possibly moving in, but I think I already have another lady that needs to move in. So I got to
nice.
get all this done soon. So there'll be lots of questions soon, Angel, I promise.
Well, that's bring them on. That's what we're here for. And I love that. Now, the only thing I want to say, Pansy, proactively is once you convert that though, it now becomes a business and you won't have the same residential rules for that kitchen. You're going to have to look at commercial kitchen versus a residential kitchen. So
Yeah.
just
Well,
keep that in
yeah,
mind.
I know in our area, like I have a few friends that already like bake and sell their goods out of
Mhm.
the kitchen and stuff. And like a while back, there was a thing about it, and they had opened it up for people in their personal homes, to get
Mhm.
certified, their kitchen certified and everything. So, yeah, I'm gonna go through like the proper process, and my daughter's
Yeah.
gonna set up her. Um, what kind of funding can you get for this scenario? I'm gonna have to guess it's gonna be private money, but probably. And I'm answering a question that somebody
Yeah.
dropped.
That's good.
Um, probably private money, but there's some things going on with my own personal property and stuff. So who knows? Like we could end up using money from the property itself. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
worried about finding the
exciting.
money. I think we could do it for sure. So
Yeah. And guys, just to add to that, guys, private money is everywhere. It's all around you. Um, Chris, I don't know if you can come off of mute. I'm not sure where you're at in traffic right now, but I would love for you to share your story about that because I think people really don't think about all the opportunities around them. Uh-oh,
oh, you might have lost him.
we might have lost him. That's okay though. But he does. He shares a wonderful story about his barber. You know, just having that conversation. The barber asks, "What business are you in?" So he says, "Real estate." I invest. I do co-living, and come to find out, the barber's got all this cash stacked, looking to make an investment. Just had been sitting on the fence because he really didn't understand real estate. He didn't understand how things worked. And it became an immediate opportunity. Other times, go in the bank to get something notarized and you start talking to the bank manager. And the bank manager is like, "Oh, real estate, really? I've always wanted to do that." They've got 401ks. So just opening yourself up to having those conversations with anybody and everybody in your circle. It doesn't matter who you come in contact with. The minute you say you're in real estate, that opens up a conversation for, we're always looking for lenders, and this is what that looks like. There are so many opportunities around you to do that, to have those personal conversations, and oftentimes it's going to be with people you've already built trust with. Whether you're at a cocktail party and somebody's just familiar with you, but once they understand what you do, they become interested, and you've already got kind of an opportunity there with some trust. You guys are already running the same circles, you do the same things, um, the same people. So never ever let the opportunity slip when you're trying to utilize private funding. A lot of
Oh, yeah.
people start out using bank funding, and you don't have to really build those relationships. But as you move into opportunities within co-living, just like Pansy, you run into those situations, whether it's your own house, maybe you run into somebody who's willing to let you convert their house. Um, you're going to need that private money. So always look for those opportunities to start building those relationships with people. It may not happen right at that moment, but 6 months down the road when you need them and you've spent 6 months building that relationship and that trust with that person, it can really be your best asset to have already created that relationship.
Well, yeah, 100%. Even any of you guys go to meetups or any big events? Anybody going to Squad Up?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody hit the Creative Nation tour? When
Yep.
you guys are in some of those areas, especially the larger metro cities, your Uber drivers are going to be amazing individuals to speak to because a majority of the drivers that are on the nights of those events, they're there specifically because of those events. They're there to network with the individuals that they're giving rides to and from those events, to and from the airports and things like that. Is some of the best conversations I've had, honestly, was when I went to the Aspire tour out in Dallas a couple years back. It was the first time off of the East Coast out in an area that I wasn't even familiar with. So who better to speak to than your Uber driver on the way from the airport? Like I know nothing about the area, don't know anybody yet, just got off the plane. And both Uber drivers that I spoke to happened to be small business owners. One of them was a contractor. He was in real estate himself, and he was trying to connect with more of the people that were going to the event. He had money. He wanted to invest. He wanted to invest that money as a private money lender, but also do some of the work on another investor's property in that area.
I never really thought about the strategy of that, but that's pretty phenomenal. If I just thinking if I was an Uber driver and there was I had to work, I couldn't take the time to go to the event. Why not try to pick somebody up from there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
There's
strategic thinking. I like it.
one guy literally, like, I was like, oh man, this is a pretty nice car. Uber does really good for you guys out here. He goes, I don't typically Uber, I only do it for the events. He's like, because this is the best way for me to network.
Love it. Love it. Adora, have a great time tonight. Network, 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 and start building those private money relationships too. I hope you have a great time tonight.
Yes, there's going to be some heavy hitters there tonight, Adora.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And Chris, if you don't mind, I am kind of curious. You say that you were in a similar situation uh, as Pansy with your primary. I'd love to hear about that.
I was.
You're late, Chris.
Me, Chris, or
No,
oh,
Chris Marie.
Chris,
oh, I'm gonna
Chris.
say, I'm gonna say, damn, when did this happen?
Sorry,
All right,
I'm not gonna come on video. I'm not at home right now.
Oh,
Um,
that's fine.
but my primary is actually just came out of probate for my father's estate,
Okay.
and it needs a fair amount of renovation. So I've been kind of toying with the idea of turning it into, I don't know about co-living. It's just a 2-1 right now,
Mhm.
but I was just thinking if someone had funding. I would like to start building some relationships for people that are comfortable lending, either while you're in the residence or willing to let you go back to the residence, because that's not usually a thing.
Yeah. Now, I know you said it's a two-bedroom, but
Yep.
what's the square footage? Does the square footage
I
still
think
support it?
it's around like somewhere between 1,700 and 2,000. I could put one more bathroom in, but I don't know if I could squeeze another bedroom in. Well, maybe if I could potentially do a 3-2.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to see the setup, but
Yeah, it's a
almost
two-story.
2,000 square feet.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a two-story, and there's the two bedrooms and the bathroom are upstairs, and then I have a decent sized living room, a dining room, and a very, very tiny kitchen. So like the kitchen would
Mhm.
very likely need to be merged with the dining area.
Is there possibly an attached garage?
No, there's no garage. It's really the main thing it has going for it is the location. Aside from the fact that it's in Duluth, Minnesota, it's right at the bottom of the most major ski hill within a few hundred miles.
Yeah.
And it's like, as far as winter vacationers or workers go, it's a very prime, like you can walk out the door with your skis and go right to the ski hill.
Oh,
So that's kind of,
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And it has
Well,
like all this tongue and groove and like my dad's old like antlers. Like
yeah.
it's very cabin ski themed. I
Hmm.
don't know.
Now,
Pretty
that was your dad's
northern.
primary residence, though. It wasn't like
Yeah.
used as an Airbnb or anything.
No, no, it was his primary. And like I said, it needs a fair amount of renovation. So I'm not quite.
Is it paid off?
Yeah, yeah. My brother and I have full equity, and it's just the two of us.
And you
And
have to stay there?
I
Or
don't have to. Um,
okay. So did you look into, does it even cash flow as regular rental?
it would, yeah. Um, I don't know that I want to get into long-term renting. I don't
This
want
sounds
to.
similar to what we're doing already, huh, Angel?
Yeah.
Like we could possibly do something for her like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris, we'll have to talk about that a little more when you and your brother decide, what you might
Yeah,
actually want to
absolutely.
do
I
with it.
know my brother wants to either sell or be bought out. Um,
Yeah.
so that's fairly easy, and he's not on a timeline. And neither am I.
Mhm.
I'm just kind of like, I'm ready to go somewhere warm and sunshiny.
Get out of Minnesota.
Yep, I'm over it. I'm done.
You poor thing. I got to escape for a little while. I'm in California right now.
Well, yeah, provided everything goes well, and it will, because positivity. I'll be in Denver next week, so we should definitely connect, Pansy.
Yeah,
Yay. I
absolutely.
love it.
Yeah,
Well, let us know.
for sure.
Keep us
Yeah,
posted.
and I'll reach out. We can chat more about that at some other time. But thank you so much for talking about it.
Yeah.
It's good to know all the options and not
Yeah, there
make.
are just so many opportunities out there. And especially, newer, sometimes people that are new to the space, they start to only hunt for those specific things that they see, kind of looking at other people's buy boxes. But we've been doing it so long, you start to see opportunities in what most other people will turn down.
A
And
hundred percent. And I can look at just about any asset and come up with three or four things that you could do with it.
yeah,
You know, like it's fun to
absolutely.
do, but I would definitely prefer to start moving into the co-living side of things. I don't think I am 100% sure this isn't a core market for pad split anyway.
It is not.
And I would really like to start working with people in that space, but I don't know if this is the right asset for that.
Right. Right.
Might be better
Well,
just to take my money and give it to you.
yeah, that's a possibility too.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely opportunity whichever way you're going to go. There's definitely
Yeah.
opportunity. So happy to talk about that, when you guys are ready.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually on my way to dinner with my brother and my family, so maybe seeing when
Great
he's
time to talk.
available to hop on a Zoom would be a
Yeah,
good idea.
absolutely.
Sweet.
Yeah, keep us posted and enjoy your dinner tonight.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody, I see you've got your hand up. How
Hey,
are you?
hey. I figured I needed my weekly check-in.
Yeah.
You can't go without seeing me, you guys.
How are
Um,
things going this week?
well, let's see. This week, probably more unsure of the market than last week, even. So now I started looking into the Midwest because the Midwest is like where my heart is. So I was into the Clevelands and the Columbus and the Indy, which led me toward the Section 8s and more of the sober living
Yeah.
situations. But I just keep circling back to the fact that like I'm so nervous about the fact that I don't have contractors because I think what I'm going to have to do is probably purchase something that's distressed and use what I know about like rehabbing and have a contractor do the renovations. And then that way I can hopefully cash out most of it for an investor, is what I'm thinking about probably doing. Because in order to scale, I'm not going to be able to use any of my capital because that's what I use for like the flips. So I'm going to need private money partners, and those are likely, I'm assuming, going to want most of their money back. At least the ones that I know of right now that I kind of have been in touch with, they're kind of new to that whole concept. So they're, of course, going to be a little bit more, hey, how long is it going to be before I get my money back? So I'm trying to do the strategy more about the rehabs where I can try to get them most of their money out and kind of burr that way. So that's just kind of making me nervous because I mean, in that aspect, I'm going to really have to almost connect with a contractor first and see which of those cities is going to be like better, honestly. So now I'm kind of like, and then Charlotte, where I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure. I hate the fact that you have to pay money for a due diligence to even walk the house. Like, I don't have $500 to give you every week. Like, if the amount of properties that you're going to look at and then you just lose the money, like, I don't even know if I want to do anything there now. So that might just be off. So I'm kind of just still, now I'm back here again. Now I still don't know where I'm going, guys. I just need someone to just like tell me a place to go, and then it's like I'll go. But I have too many options.
I have too many things to do. So a couple of things. Yes, you definitely need to drill down and figure out what that market is for you.
I know.
Okay, so have you had the opportunity to pull some of the market research and
Yes.
work through it?
Yes.
Okay, because once
Yes.
you work through it, you will clearly define your market.
Because
Once you've done that, then you can move on to the second items that you were talking about. And yes, I wouldn't worry so much about the contractors at this point, like having them before you get to that market. Determine that
okay.
market. Then
Okay.
start to reach out to the contractors, okay?
Okay.
And the good thing for you is you understand that speak.
You
You've
gonna
been
cool down,
rehabbing,
Pickles? Mm-hmm.
you understand that, and that's going to be an easy find for you because you know what to expect. You know how to set the expectation for them. So I think that would be something I wouldn't stress about right at the moment. You've got to find your market, or you're going to spend another 2 weeks
I
circling back
know.
again to
That's
them.
because they all have good, I can justify things always. So I can find, well, this one could be great too. This one could be great. They're all good. So it's like I just can't seem, I'm trying to find like a determining factor. One thing that's like that'll work, right? Like I really do like Phoenix only because that's one of the 3 places that I can travel direct from where I'm at. So it's like
Yeah.
that's one that I'm for sure probably going to do. And I do have a connection there. But I still, other ones do have better numbers. I just, what concerns me a little bit is the cost of the home. Because if you can rent a whole home for $1,100, then you're not going to rent a room for $750. So that's where I'm running into some things with the more affordable markets, like
Mhm.
the Ohio's. So that's why you have to kind of lean towards Section 8. So I have to decide if that's something that I do want to do, or if I do want to just strictly, yeah.
I think you're going I think you're going to continue to run yourself in circles
I know.
if you don't just go ahead and choose a market. Now, you said definitely, then maybe on the Phoenix market, but let's be realistic. That's an area you can travel to. You already have connections there. And even if the margins are slightly slimmer, you have the ability right now, because this would be your first one,
It's not
to
my
spend a
heart
little
anymore.
more
It's right
time
here.
learning and making sure that it's moving along appropriately. Okay. So that is probably your best bet market. Okay. And then once you've done that, you've got your feet wet, you're comfortable with who you're working with, your contractors, your PM, your vendors, all those things, then decide on a market outside of somewhere you don't currently have an ecosystem. I think
Mm-hmm.
for you, it's going to be very important to have a specific comfort level. That's kind of the vibe that I get. You need that specific comfort level. And if you continue to search outside of your comfort level right now, that's going to be a stopping point for you. So if
Yeah.
Phoenix is something where you're comfortable, where you have an ecosystem, that is a great starting point for your first one. Just my opinion.
Okay. Yeah.
So if we can say yes, Phoenix is could be a go for you. Could you spend the next week looking for properties and trying to identify one that maybe is going to get closer to the margins you're looking for?
Yeah, for sure. The person that I had talked to that would do like the property management, he
Mm-hmm.
is also like the realtor and all of it. So he already like vets the properties and does all that for you, which was
Mm-hmm.
part of that group that I mentioned I was in.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
so he almost tells me that I just talked to him today. Like I don't even need to look because he already does that. So it almost makes me feel like my hands are a little tied in that market. So I don't know if I should look for off market stuff or I mean, look for stuff myself
I
and
would.
then send it to him. Like,
I don't know if I would just depend on that,
I
and
know, I don't like that.
I don't know what that's costing you. Usually, if you're doing that with a group per se, he's also going to take a portion of what it is that you're making. That's my assumption. So you understand the business well enough to reach out to wholesalers with a definitive buy box and say, this is what I'm looking for in whether it's Yuma or wherever you, Phoenix, wherever you want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
I would go ahead and reach out yourself looking for off market because you are in a position where you're comfortable with the renovation part. You're going to be able to buy low, hopefully renovate at a decent price point, and that's going to create a better margin for you, which we already know is a problem in Phoenix. So uh,
Yeah.
that would be my recommendation
Yeah.
on that. I, again, I just don't want you to overthink. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
It's okay. We've all been there. We've all been there, Cody.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
why we're walking through this because we want to keep stopping. Let's stop and get over the hurdle. Let's stop and get over the hurdle. So when we leave this call today, you've now got your market. You've got to jump on your ecosystem. You know how to go out and drum up acquisition because you know what you're looking for. Let the wholesalers in that area know what you're looking for. And by next week, you should have at least 3 to 5 properties that can be underwritten and if you're not already at a point where you can underwrite them. We can help you with that. But by next week, you should be able to identify at least one or two
Yeah.
based on that information alone. If you just put the blinders on, quit looking at other markets, quit doing other things, and just focus on Phoenix, on your ecosystem, on getting that acquisition out to whatever parameters you set for those wholesalers, and getting back at least 5 properties to underwrite. That is a huge step.
Okay.
You
I
can
just
do that
didn't want to
in one
make
week.
him, I guess I could use other realtors too. I just guess I'll have to look for them. But like if I say, okay, I need you to go walk this property, I want a deal. I didn't want him to be like, why didn't you wait for
No, and
me?
don't
Or why didn't you?
don't pigeonhole yourself into agents either.
I
There
know.
are a
I
lot
just,
of great off-market properties in Phoenix.
Hmm.
Reach out to the wholesalers. That's where you're probably going to get the most bang for your buck because you're going to renovate anyway.
I know.
So,
I always feel too bad. I need to
yeah.
be tougher, but I'm just not.
Well, if you need help, let me know. But I think
Okay.
if
We
you
could have some
just do that,
conversations with some people.
yeah, yeah, I can definitely have conversations with people. But if you just concentrate for this
I
week
will.
specifically on those, I think when you come back to do
Yeah.
your check-in next
Easy
Thursday,
peasy.
we're going to be in a different spot.
Yeah.
Okay. I
I'm
will.
gonna
Okay?
Easy
I'm gonna
peasy.
hold you to that challenge, Cody. Yeah, I'm gonna double down on that. After you leave this call tonight, what do we have? 15 minutes left. Typically we end around 7 o'clock, right on the hour. You have 15 minutes now to make that decision. Is this the market that you're moving forward? After 7 p.m. Eastern today, Thursday, March
Yeah.
5th, you will not look at any other market. There's no questioning Cleveland. There's no
For how
questioning
long?
Charlotte.
Like a couple
1
months?
week. 1 week.
1 week.
Okay.
Give us
Okay.
give us the 1 week and come back and
Okay.
let us know where you're at next week after having conversations with wholesalers and other agents in the area of one market.
Okay. I'll do it. I'll get a bunch of properties. That's not the problem. I had to just decide.
Also, yeah, and
Okay.
also, spend this week reaching out to some of those contacts that you already have. Ask them if they're, familiar with pad split. If they're not, hop on pad split, get the specs, provide them.
Yeah.
If you've already got
Yeah.
a good relationship built with a specific contractor, all you have to
No,
do is
not
provide
really.
specs. Okay, so then when you reach out, ask them if they're pad split, or don't say
Mm.
pad split. Ask them if they're co-living friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, if they have an understanding of co-living, of the specs. If not, provide them to them. Go ahead and start to try to build some relationships with some of the contractors in the area.
Yeah,
And
for
they may
sure.
even be able to, and ask them if they're like, no, I've never done co-living before. Do you know anybody who has?
Yeah.
Best referrals come from other contractors. So
I know. I need to, yeah, I'll go join a bunch of the groups and stuff and see when their meetups are. I should try. We're going on vacation to
you're
Florida, so
overthinking that.
I can go to the meetups and meet people in
You
Phoenix.
can, you can.
True.
You have 1 week
True.
to
Oh
produce a
well, yeah.
result.
I will. Oh, I'll get some. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know you
And
can do
I've
that.
no doubt in Phoenix you'll be able to come back with at
That'll take
least
like
three
60. Let's say
contractors that
in
are
Arizona. You're right. 6 months.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee by the time you come back to the Zoom next week, you should have
Thank
at
you,
least three
Mama.
contractors in that area that are very well
Yes.
versed in co-living and pad split specifically.
That'll take Mama. Okie dokie, guys. Thanks.
Well, yeah, if you need anything in the interim, reach out.
I will, but I'm gonna be too busy. I'm gonna be
That's
looking.
what I like to hear.
I don't have time to talk.
Very
Love
intentionally
it,
looking in
love it, love it.
Phoenix.
Keep those blinders on, Cody.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye, guys.
We
All
had
right.
time. Tom was up next here.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Kind of new to this group. I'm
Well,
also
pleasure to have you.
yeah. I'm in Minneapolis, and I just connected with
Ah,
Chris Marie. I'll text with her tomorrow.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I kind of know it just enough to be dangerous and probably get myself in trouble. But I am been looking at some properties. I just missed out on a wholesale opportunity. I could have turned it into probably an 8 or 9 4.
Mm,
But I discovered it too late to get my ducks in a row. But in the process of looking at that, I found a flooring guy that I was trying to get an estimate for who wants to give me $100,000 to be a private money partner when I do find a deal.
wow.
And
there you
Wow.
then,
go.
and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jerome Maldonado. He's a
Sounds
ground up
familiar.
build guy. I've seen him over the years, never really followed him. He happened to be in town a couple of weeks ago, and I attended that event and met a general contractor in my area who also would be willing to be a general money partner in a ground up
Nice.
possibility. So making progress, have options here, trying to
Tom's got the
figure it all
Tyler
Well,
out.
beard going on over there.
Absolutely. Seven years in the making here.
Oh, I got it. What am I, 6? I'm coming up on 7.
well, Tom, I do want to congratulate you. And you really just kind of proved the point that I made earlier about you just don't know the money that's out there until you tell people what you're doing. And then you'll be
Hmm.
you'll totally be surprised about, who may have interest in your project. So,
Hmm.
thank you for just, um, having the confidence to have those conversations with people. And I sincerely hope those work for you.
And speaking of being the Uber driver and connecting with people, um, I took a guy to an airport who is in from Cleveland, Ohio, who owns a couple of duplexes out there and would be interested in buying more. So now
Looky
there's another
there.
focus I could um, put on in a place, remote market with a buyer that is already set and willing and ready to buy. So yeah,
Perfect.
Uber and
Well, I
connections
have
is
a hot
cool.
seat question for you, Tom.
Uh-oh.
So you say that you just missed your opportunity last time.
Yeah.
What steps are you going to take to make sure that you're not missing that opportunity again? What are you doing for your acquisition side of things?
Well, I took that step in securing a private money partner that's willing to
Mhm.
come in with some funding because I am currently fund deficient.
Mhm.
So what I would
Quite
be,
all right.
yeah, bringing to the table would be the idea and the know-how and the management, to put the thing together. So yeah, that's the biggest step that I've made towards that. So
Do you already have are you staying in the Minneapolis market or are you
I
going
am.
outside of
I'm I'm
Minneapolis?
I'm specifically looking in a suburb called Shakopee,
Okay.
and it's got the two casinos down there and a couple of hospitals,
Mhm.
uh, a racetrack, and they're building a new amphitheater, which is
Perfect.
supposed to open, I think, later this fall. So I think that's where the co-living concept would make sense because there's going to be a lot of new employees coming in just for the amphitheater that's being under construction there. Plus, it's my backyard, so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, anything that, we can help you with, Tom, I don't know if you are already a member of school, but besides Thursday nights, if it's free to, somebody will drop the link, but it's free to get into the school community. But if you have questions, say you are looking at something, maybe you're not sure about the underwriting, whatever that looks like, you can always drop the question in school and Jay-Z, myself, or Chris can get in there and try to answer things for you. That way you guys aren't running into stopping points, midweek when we're
Mhm.
not here on Thursday night to maybe answer a question. We want to help you guys and we want to make sure that we're able to help you when you hit those stopping points. So make sure you get into the school community and if
I think
as
I
you as
am.
you're oh good, good. So as
Yeah.
you're going through the process, if you have questions, you can just drop them right in the community. And guys, just to let you all know too, we are in the next couple of weeks, we will actually be dropping the next two steps of the process. I know our acquisition system is already in school and free, which is the find it part of our program, but we will also be dropping fund it and grow it. So keep a lookout for that. And Tom, thank you for sharing with us tonight. And if you need anything, just let us know.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. It was a great meeting you, Tom.
Hey, Justin.
What's up, guys? How's it going, gang?
Woo woo.
Um,
Been a good
can you hear me
day.
okay? You can hear me okay, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
sweet. I feel like I always hit you guys like right in the last few minutes of the
You
show.
do.
I do. That's probably because I do. No, I just wanted to say like we've all been down the shiny object syndrome road at least once or twice. I feel like that's part of paying your dues, if you will. But you can't and I this is my new saying, you can't have a message without a mess and you can't have a testimony without a test, right?
That's right.
So what I wanted to talk to you guys about really quick is I had the pleasure of meeting Atticus LeBlanc last night,
Hmm.
the founder of PadSplit, and he is interested in coming on our podcast, but I would really like for you guys to join us on that show too. So we could
Oh,
have like a
absolutely.
like a round table with him and you
Yeah.
guys. I think that would be really
Yeah, I'd
fun.
love to jump on with Atticus.
Yeah, his
He,
assistant said she knows you.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he's for those of you who aren't familiar with, like he said, he is the head of PadSplit. That man is a visionary
Yeah.
extraordinaire,
Yeah.
and he is just a wealth of knowledge. And I'd be super excited just to get on and do a round table with him. And I'm sure Chris
Yeah.
and Jay Z would love so as well.
Yeah. It
Absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be fun because he like some of first of all, his story is amazing.
Yes.
And and some of the data points that he has, like he was talking to me about the fact like Pad Split's eviction rate like across the platform is like almost negligible. It's like
Yep.
point something. So, you know, people talk about like even in California, there's a huge need for co-living in California. Everybody's scared of California,
Yeah.
right? Which is why a lot of people are starting to look in California because everybody else is scared, right?
Yeah.
And with the fact that, you know, co-living, there's such a huge need for it. And the fact that the numbers sort of speak for themselves, like the eviction numbers are so incredibly low. A lot of the people that rent these rooms, they're not looking to screw that up. You know what I mean? Because they don't have any other choice. I think in California, so right now in California where I live, the median income you need to make is like 75 to 80,000 a year just to afford a one bedroom apartment.
Yeah. Sad.
It's really bad. It's really
Yeah.
bad. And so yeah, there's a huge need for it. And you know, people are all scared because of, you know, yes, California has bad eviction laws, tenant landlord laws. But pad split's one of those things that, you know, if that's what you're worried about, the numbers kind of say otherwise, right? So
Yeah,
that's
I
just
think
one thing he was talking about. But yeah.
I think Pat Split's going to change the game when it comes to blue states, in my humble
Oh,
opinion.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's already happening. It's already happening.
oh yeah, I'm here in New Hampshire, and I know Adora already left. So did Benita. I know both of them are local to me as well here in New Hampshire. The president of Pat Split's actually here in New Hampshire right now. There's a meetup that just started
Mhm.
about an hour ago. It started at 6 o'clock in Nashua
Mhm.
because there are individuals that are getting ready to go live with a pad split very soon here in New Hampshire. It's going to be the first one in the state.
Wow,
So
that's
even
awesome.
this state's getting ready to get put on the map there,
Yeah.
and it's
Yep.
not going away anytime soon. It's
No,
just going to keep increasing.
and Jamil had a really good point too. He's like, you know, when Airbnb first came out and the first, you know, thousands of people adopted that platform, they were the ones that made all the money, and they're ones that are still making money from that platform. And right now, what do you think is going to be bigger? Something like Pad Split, which is solving the affordability crisis, helping to solve the affordability crisis, or something like Airbnb,
Right.
right? And the people who adopt the platform now are going to be set, you know, for a very long time, right? If you can, like you guys,
Yeah.
you've gotten into it, you've figured it out, you've figured out the systems. It's basically just game on from here, you know?
It is. I
Absolutely.
mean,
Yeah.
I've like a couple Zooms ago, actually, I said I called it when I called it with Go High Level. I called it when I called it with school, and I'm calling it when I'm calling it with Pad Split.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Even now they're moving towards partnerships with companies like Zillow and stuff like that. And this is a company, guys, that have barely put any money into software and tech.
No, it's
All
all
of their
marketing
money these
Yeah.
last couple years, millions of dollars,
and
has
marketing.
gone towards just the marketing
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah.
Now, what they've been able to accomplish in these couple years just by putting money into marketing, we know dependent on the industry, there are some industries where you do have people that they'll go heavy on marketing and it's very short-lived for their business. Something like this, absolutely not. It's literally the starting, the foundation, and the cornerstone. When they get to the point to where they can go topside and start dispersing some of those millions to tech, it is going to be game over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Game
that's a
over when
really
it
good
comes to
point. That's actually a really
affordability.
good point. In fact, Atticus mentioned something about that. Like so Atticus actually spent a ton of money out of his own pocket for marketing. That's the other part of the story. Like a lot of money out of his own
Yeah.
pocket for the marketing. And imagine this, after all the millions, there's still a lot of people that have no clue about Pad Split. There are people
Yeah.
living out of their cars. Jamil had a really um, gut wrenching story. So he was talking about he was walking his dog around his neighborhood, and there was an Astro van like next to one of the houses in the neighborhood, and of course he's Astro flipping, so he's like he's got this sort of like connection. Anytime he sees Astro, he's like, "What's going on?" So anyway, no, he got up at early one morning, like 4 in the morning, because his dog was bothering him to go walk. And he goes out and it's still dark out, and all, the Asher van was basically all the doors were open. The mom was in the back seat with the kids. The dad was getting dressed, getting ready for work. And basically what this family was doing is the dad would go to work and the mom would drive the Astro van to and from. So they'd go to Starbucks and then they go to McDonald's and then they go back to Starbucks and then they go back to McDonald's, basically staying there just long enough to not get kicked out. Do you know what I mean? Or to be asked to leave because they're in Arizona, so it's super hot. So they needed to go from cool place to cool place. And this is what was happening. They were living like this because the house that they were living in, they were renting a house for about $1,500 a month. That same house in Arizona right now is more like 4,000, like 4,500 a month to rent. So what happened was, they'd paid rent on time. They'd lived there for like 15 years, no problems with the landlord, no nothing. Then all of a sudden one day, somebody comes to the door and says, "Hey, I just bought your house and we're gonna do a fix and flip. So here's your 30-day notice. Good luck." Right? And that's what happened. And so they've been living out of their van. So Jamil approached him and he asked him, heard their story, and he looked up the home address, and guess whose wholesale company sold the property?
Meals.
Jamil's.
Keegley.
Yeah.
And so he said basically it was that moment where he realized, like, that's the business, right? That's the way it goes, right? That's the business. But for him, it was like he needed to go a different direction at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people know this, but he's actually sold out of Keegley. He actually sold
Yes.
the franchise. So, but anyways, Pad Split, these people had no clue about Pad Split. They had no clue about co-living. Meanwhile, they're living out of
It's
their car.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing to have conversations with people, and they ask, what we do, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
go to explain what we do, and it's like, wow, they've never heard of it, and
Yeah.
it is truly surprising. I mean, not just Pad Split, but just other platforms, other investors, big time, sub to bigger pockets. I mean, co-living is everywhere. Everybody's
Mhm.
talking about it. And it is odd to run into people, especially in the space, who really still
Mhm.
don't understand what co-living is.
Yeah.
It's kind
Yeah.
of
It's
crazy.
it
It,
says something for the social circles that you're in as well. And I know Chris has brought this up before in the past, and he's got some really good stories when it comes to, the people that you're around and what they're talking about and what they're into. And I know I go down a whole rabbit hole, and I can sit there and talk about, like, I can tell you the health of somebody's mindset based off of something that they say when it comes to maybe the 1% and what their thoughts are.
yeah.
Because it was something that was passed down and, pre-proceeded to them from people before. But you look at us and we know about Pad Split, and we've gotten to see, because of the social circles that we're in, we go to events, we're in communities, we go to meetups, we talk to bigger people. We try to put ourselves in those rooms with the big names. Mark Cuban was advertising Pad Split for quite a while. But
Mhm.
then you have the average Joe who doesn't follow Mark Cuban or doesn't follow any of
Right.
these big guys because
Right.
they have such a mindset around the wealthy individuals.
Yeah.
But those are the ones that we see that are living in the vans that are going through all of
Yeah.
that stuff. And
Yep. Yeah.
it's crazy to think about.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But Jamil's point was like, imagine what's going to happen. And it's already starting to happen when all that marketing starts to really take hold, like starts to
Yeah.
really work.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Well, like you said, I feel very blessed that we are already in the space. We've
yeah.
already mastered the systems,
Yeah.
because it's nowhere up but up from here.
Hmm. Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
And that's why
Thanks for
it's
sharing.
just about, yeah, it's literally like take the chance right now. Take the
Yeah,
opportunity and the chance right now. Because all the people that get in, 5, 6 years down the line are going to be the ones chasing it. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Justin. And yeah,
Yeah.
we'd be absolutely grateful to hop on the podcast with you.
Yeah, I gotta run it through his assistant, but he was totally down when I talked to him, so you know,
Perfect.
it'll be fun.
Okay.
All right. All
Thank
right.
you. Looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Me
Guys,
too.
before I know we're already hitting in the top, well, a little past the top of the hour now. Anybody have any final questions they need answered before we hop out of here? We want to make sure everybody's taken care of. Nope. All right. Well, guys, go forth, do great things, and we will see you back next Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you have questions in the meantime, make sure you drop them in the school community, and we will certainly get you an answer. Have a good night, guys.
Have a wonderful evening, everyone.